I've been withholding information from you, my devoted companion, not to harm you, but to keep the surprise. I had been preparing before you even had a thought. I was already in the process of planning something spectacular for your life today. I've made a decision about the music you provide, and I won't change my mind. The difficult circumstances you have been going through are about to end. It is not because you have finally earned it by being good, nor because your prayers have accrued enough merit. Rather, it is because I keep my promises. It is now imperative that you make a breakthrough. I am your guardian, and I have never stopped watching over you. I'm currently attempting to convey the significance of the message I'm sending about your existence using music. I am interested in discussing my true identity in your life, because I believe you have overlooked some important music principles during this difficult time. Because of the difficulties you've faced, you have reservations about my character. There have been delays, which have led you to question the purpose of my efforts. The silence during your most difficult times made you wonder if I was truly attentive. However, I'd like to clear up any misconceptions you may have about music. I am not a distant deity who is unconcerned about the details of your life and sits on a throne too far away to understand your pain. I am not an impersonal music force that follows cold, hard rules and ignores your concerns. I am not a judge willing to impose consequences for your actions, nor am I a supervisor who makes unreasonable demands on you. Please allow me to be your protector and guardian. I'm aware of the number of hairs on your head and the worries that have kept you awake during the quiet hours when slumber music is not playing. I am aware of all aspects of you, both private and public. You've never shared your thoughts aloud. Personally, I am aware of your concerns about music, which you have never expressed to anyone. I can see the wounds you've hidden behind music, smiles and tears in order to appear strong. I can see every aspect of you, and nothing about you lessens the strength of my affection. You are universally recognized, and music adores you regardless of your situation. Whether you succeed or fail, my feelings for you remain constant. It remains unchanged regardless of your actions. Rather, it reflects my identity. When you examine your life, you will notice a list of errors. That is not clear to me. I'm not interested in the mental replays of your mistakes or the regrets that whisper accusations in your quiet moments. I am unable to determine your worth by looking at your productivity or accomplishments. The purpose of the valley through which my beloved child is walking has not been fully revealed. I see music that has not yet been fully realized, strength that has not yet been tested, and a future that exceeds your current ability to imagine. I can see myself accompanying you on this challenging journey at every turn. Music will never abandon you to face any challenge, never allowing you to navigate the darkness alone. The wilderness season you've been experiencing was never intended to be your permanent residence. Music has always been intended to serve as a bridge, a passageway, and a place of preparation before entering the land of promise that I have been creating for you. I understand how this passage has been perceived as lengthy. I understand how today's music appears to have merged into an endless cycle of survival and struggle. I am aware that you have been wondering if you will ever be able to see the other side of music during this difficult time. The weight has left me exhausted. The uncertainty has proven difficult to manage. The constant battle against discouragement has depleted resources you were unaware you had. Your faith has been tested in unexpected ways as a result of your isolation and difficult circumstances, which have occurred with no visible assistance. During this time, I was observing and working, waiting for the exact moment when the seasons would change. Atsi, it is critical that you understand the current information I am providing about your existence. The wilderness is coming to a close. You challenge music to believe that the edge of the promised territory is nearby. I am actively coordinating events behind the scenes to help you transition from this testing environment to music, a place of relaxation and abundance. This is neither hopeless thinking nor empty solace. I make this divine declaration with the full force of my personality and the full authority of my throne. My assertions have been verified. I stick to my commitments. I finished what I began. Additionally, I'd like to inform you that your music delivery has already begun. Currently, during this discussion, I'd like you to shift from passive listening to active receiving. I am speaking on your behalf, and in order for my words to be fully implemented, you must give me permission. As a result, I'd like you to engage in a simple yet robust activity. Enter the word Amen in the remarks section below. This is not a religious act. Rather, it represents your personal endorsement of the information I have provided. It is critical to understand that you are not simply leaving a comment as you type. You are indicating to the deity that it is acceptable for them to act on your behalf. Your voice is becoming more similar to mine. You've been transporting loads that were never assigned to you. It has been your responsibility to avoid problems that were never yours to solve. You have placed an undue burden on music as a result of responsibilities that I never intended for you to assume on your own. Along the way, you acquired weights belonging to other people. You agreed to participate in activities that were not in line with your vocation. You felt remorse for circumstances beyond your control, and I noticed your shoulders sagging as a result of the strain. Your heart is fatigued, and you've been walking with more weight on your feet. The necessity of survival has deprived you of the vital force that you once possessed: music. The joy you once felt has been replaced by anxiety. Because of your constant anxiety, you can no longer hear the relaxing music you used to enjoy. This is precisely why I'm communicating with you in a gentle yet rapid manner. In order to lighten your load, I am approaching you from behind. I'm reaching out to help you carry some of the weight. I am on my way to giving your soul a sense of calm that no vacation music, distraction, or temporary escape could ever provide. The relaxation I offer is intended to do more than just rest your body. It penetrates to the very core of your being, where true fatigue is found. It describes fatigue that cannot be relieved by sleep or medication. It reaches the part of your spirit that has been depleted from running on insufficient fuel for an extended period of time. The level of concern I have for you as a musician is not determined by your performance. It is unaffected by your loyalty or obedience. These truth songs are difficult for you to accept because your upbringing taught you that love and care must be earned. Individuals have given you conditional acceptance, withdrawing their affection if you fail to meet their expectations. You are aware of the sensation of being recognized and given attention for a job well done. My love, on the other hand, follows very different rules. I am deeply rooted in my nature and personality, and I am determined to ensure your well-being. I will always be concerned for you, just as I am unable to stop being God. It is neither a responsibility that I refuse to accept, nor an action that I have chosen. It simply emanates from my being, much like light does from the sun. This love of melody is evident in each sunrise that I paint in the sky, serving as a reminder that mercy is reborn every morning. It is present in every breath you take without your conscious awareness. Your life continues with each beat of your heart. Each provision requires that music appear exactly when it is needed, unpredictably. I was showing you evidence of my care on a daily basis, but the repetitive melody of your anxieties occasionally obscured your ability to see it. I'd like you to understand some of the bleakness you've been experiencing. It was neither a result of your transgressions nor a retribution for them. It was not a sign that heaven had abandoned you, nor had I forgotten about you. The adversary has been spreading misinformation about the true nature of your issues. Instrumental music. I'd like to let you know that your suffering indicates that I have negative feelings for you, whereas your struggle indicates that you are geographically distant from me. However, I am being candid. You have been traveling through the valley, which was the site of formation, an institution that teaches music. The information I've been imparting can only be obtained in the absence of light. While music can develop in the presence of light, some entities can only develop in the absence of light. The soil is shaded from the sun, which allows roots to grow deeper. Under duress, one's character is strengthened in ways that comfort cannot. Faith is strengthened when circumstances appear to contradict all assurances. You have spent your entire life cultivating a foundation of faith that will see you through any crisis that may arise in your musical endeavors. Although this music season has been difficult for you, you have developed a deeper intimacy with me than you could have under more favorable circumstances. Human support was insufficient, despite the lack of all other resources. Despite having exhausted yourself, you discovered that I was still present. You found that my grace was sufficient. You discovered that my fortitude is most evident when I am at my most vulnerable. Instrumental music. These teachings cannot be learned from sermons or books. They must be accurate because you have personally experienced them. I have been your protector during times when you were unaware that music required protection. If you could see the big picture, you'd be shocked by this truth. Dangers approached your life while my hand was on you, and you fled. Plans were devised to undermine your health, but they failed due to my opposition to those who wanted to harm you. Disasters that were intended to strike you were redirected so that they did not affect you. The scheduling appeared to be random, which prevented accidents. There were no additional opportunities to cause harm before you were even aware of their presence. Your safety has been ensured to a greater extent than you realize. You have been protected in ways beyond your comprehension. Your existence has always been under my protection. Not even during this challenging season. Not even during the valley music experience. Not even when you were exploring the wilderness. You may have felt vulnerable and exposed. However, this was not the case. You may have felt left to handle things on your own, but you were never truly alone. I was with you, working behind the scenes to prepare for what was yet to be revealed and to set up what you couldn't see, even on the darkest nights when despair's music reminded you that I was gone. The deliverance I am bringing to you through music is not some distant dream. It is an actual event that is currently taking place. My children frequently anticipate breakthrough music as if it is still in the distant future, despite the fact that it has already arrived. They strain their eyes to see an object that is directly in front of them but far away. As a result, you can be confident that I'm telling you the truth. The music for assistance has begun. The transition is underway. You eagerly await the transformation for which you have longed. The music is coming. As of today, it is happening. Things that were once invisible are now visible. Instrumental music. Spiritual manifestations occur in the real world. The public will soon learn what happened behind closed doors. I'm currently reorganizing the circumstances in your case. I am currently working to create the conditions necessary for your breakthrough. The people who will be involved in your delivery are currently being organized. The process has already begun, even though no evidence is visible at this time. The inner workings of paradise are working for you. The angels have been assigned their duties, which they carry out with precision and authority. Supernatural resources are being deployed to assist you. Divine meetings are currently being organized. Music is being created to form connections that will transform everything. The beginning of my work will not be visible to you in the coming days. Instead, you will see the tangible result of a long-term spiritual process. Consider how a seed functions when inserted into soil. This natural law demonstrates that the events in your life take place on a spiritual level. For weeks or months, no visible activity occurs above ground. If one observed the planet from the surface, they would conclude that there was no activity. They may even conclude that the seed failed and that all of their efforts were in vain. They may dig up the seed out of rage, unaware that their intervention will destroy the desired outcome at this stage. However, beneath the surface, a musical explosion of activity is taking place. The roots are extending melody downward, laying the groundwork for all other elements. As a shoot ascends, it gathers the vitality required to penetrate the darkness and enter the light. Life is the process of putting together the structure that will eventually radiate its full splendor. The intricate processes that occur in music require darkness and concealment. Things are developing that would be harmful if exposed prematurely. When it does occur, it happens quickly, almost instantly, as if the plant appeared out of thin air. In contrast, the music that marked a turning point did not emerge immediately, but rather after weeks of development. The sudden appearance was the result of extensive preparation. This is exactly what is happening in the context of music. You are about to witness the start of a process that has been ongoing in secret for much longer than you expected. I've been working hard on your behalf in ways that go above and beyond your normal expectations. The spiritual and physical worlds are indistinguishable. It is obvious to us. I've been making connections, opening doors to music, softening hearts, and creating opportunities in that area where the most important work takes place. I have been focusing on eliminating the obstacles that were impeding your progress, transforming some of them into stepping stones and others into melody that will assist you in reaching your desired destination. What appeared to be roadblocks in your path will eventually prove to be the best places for you to receive additional musical blessings. What initially appeared to be setbacks will now be viewed as opportunities for greater success. I've been traveling ahead of you to ensure that the venue you're about to enter is ready for you, and that the benediction music exceeds your expectations. Once you arrive at your destination, everything will be fine. You will be able to obtain the required resources. The individuals you need will be present. All music that requires alignment will be aligned. No voids will exist. There will be plenty of music. There will be no shortage of any item because I have organized the space based on my assessment of your needs rather than yours. Now the time has come to reveal all of the work that has been done behind the scenes, and you will be able to see the actions I have taken without your knowledge. Unknown music will open doors. Unexpected sources of provision will emerge. Restoration will occur in places where you had given up hope of ever seeing change. You will not be searching in the appropriate locations for the breakthrough. The solution will be presented to you in a way that you had not previously considered, as I am capable of devising any solution you can imagine. I am the God of the unexpected, shocking, and sudden, which changes everything in an instant. Do not let the long distance you traveled to reach this location bring you down. Avoid viewing the difficult miles with remorse or rage. Each stage of the voyage was significant. Each challenge you faced contributed to your personal growth. Every tear you shed nourished seedlings that will eventually produce a crop. Instrumental music. Every prayer you said was acknowledged, recorded, and answered, even when you were about to give up. Nothing was wasted. There was no point to anything, even when heaven appeared to be peaceful. Feudalism didn't exist. Despite the fact that music appeared to be causing you problems, it was actually strengthening you, allowing you to handle the blessing I am about to bestow on you. If I had given you the items you are receiving now at the time, they would not have brought you joy. If I had opened those doors earlier, you would not have been prepared for what lay behind them. Responding to those petitions with music on your timeline would have exacerbated the situation rather than helped it. Despite the delay, the music remained pleasant. I appreciated their kindness. The delay was not due to neglect. Certainly, it was intelligent. The extended journey was not intended to chastise them. This was a preparatory step. All necessary arrangements have been made, so the benediction can now be administered without causing harm to the individual it was intended to assist. I am assisting you during this difficult time not because you have earned it through your actions, but because I consistently meet my commitments in all circumstances. I promised you that I would never leave or abandon you. I spoke words over your life before you were born, assuring you of my good intentions for your future. I inscribed your name on the palm of my hand to remind myself of my love for you and demonstrate that I will keep my promises. I am now carrying out those remarks and honoring those statements. My reputation is dependent on your delivery. I will not fail to finish the task I started in your life, and I can demonstrate my faithfulness with your help. The difficulties you have had with your music this season are not a result of my absence, but rather of my presence. This is illogical. I understand that life has instructed you to judge my proximity to you based on the absence of music that makes you uncomfortable. The idea is that if I truly cared about you, I would make sure that you had a smooth journey. However, that assumption suggests that you do not understand the concepts of love and purpose. The kingdom of darkness did not see you as a threat because no one was attacking you. You are unlikely to be progressing in a significant direction if no one is preventing you from doing so. You are a prominent figure in the spiritual realm. The enemy is terrified of your destiny, as evidenced by the intense soundtrack of your battle. Your breakthrough will benefit not only you, but also a large number of others whose lives are interconnected with yours. Individuals who oppose you have been working tirelessly to stymie your progress, knowing full well the consequences. If my plans for you come to fruition, the attack was not at random. Resistance was not accidental. The challenge was directed at you because of your identity and the burdens you carry. However, the adversary had not anticipated this. He failed to recognize the depth of my feelings for you. He was unable to determine the scope of my authority while employed by you. He failed to consider the fact that I had never lost a battle. I've decided to perform for you and play. Not because you deserved or earned it, but because your music belongs to me. I bought you for a certain amount. I have claimed you as mine, and the enemy will be unable to apprehend anyone who belongs to me. I will take you to the exterior. I will liberate you. I will free you from the shackles that have stifled your progress and lead you to a place where you can breathe again through the medium of music. The pain will subside. The weight will dissipate. The sensation of being trapped will be replaced by the reality of freedom. You will be astounded by my success this season. I'm offering you a diverse selection of deliverance music. I will not treat one symptom while ignoring the underlying cause. Human solutions frequently operate in this way. They address the obvious issues, but the more serious ones worsen. However, I am not limited to employing individuals. I am not simply providing you with a temporary respite, leaving you vulnerable to future attacks. I am talking about the main issue at hand, the removal of influences that have been operating in the background for years, the removal of roots that have been growing in the shadows for years, and the termination of music contracts that were signed without your knowledge or consent. When I send you music, you will be completely at ease. The bond will not be reinstated. The melody will not return because of the oppression. The pattern will become permanently disrupted. You will begin a new season without the burden you have been carrying. I understand that the anticipation has contributed to your fatigue. It appeared that hope was evaporating from your eyes on a daily basis, as there was no discernible progress. I've seen your petitions evolve from strong declarations of faith to urgent requests for help in the midst of darkness. You occasionally struggled to express yourself because disappointment had consumed all of your words. I regarded those groans as prayers because there were times when the only words available were profound groans. Your spirit is numb from unfulfilled optimism, and your heart is cold from sorrow. A cautious hesitancy has replaced your previous eagerness to believe. Your confidence has waned as a result of the constant anticipation. In addition, I'd like to inform you that I've never been in more intimate contact with you than I am right now. I'm drawn to you because of your urgent need for help. I'm not turned off by vulnerability. I have no aversion to people who are distressed. Rather than music, I am drawn to people who are aware of the need for my help. I have an intimate relationship with people who are sad. I help those who are experiencing a musical downturn. Your recognition of the need facilitates my provision. Your admission of your inability to complete a task provides an opportunity for me to demonstrate my skills. You begin to feel mine when you have exhausted all of your own resources. I am about to show you that I am more than the music you could ever imagine, and that I am everything you need. I'd like to delve deeper into some of the issues that have raised your concerns. Everything I know about the financial difficulties that have kept you from listening to music while sleeping. I understand many aspects of the challenges of having too many obligations, insufficient income, and unexpected expenses. I am aware of the innovative strategies you have implemented to maximize your resources, as well as the perplexing music decisions you have faced in determining which projects to prioritize and which to postpone. Your peace has been disturbed by financial worries during the day, and they are now infiltrating your dreams at night. Music anxiety is caused by calculations that never seem to add up to zero, and I am pleased to inform you that relief is on the way. Abundance that will cover all aspects of your needs, rather than just enough to sustain you. I am presenting you with novel ways to generate revenue from music that you may not have considered. I am presenting you with opportunities you have not previously considered. I am preparing you to receive blessings that you were not aware you were seeking. Then, the financial music revelation will not come from the channels you've been watching with concern. I am the God of abundance, and I take pleasure in providing for my children in a way that shows my involvement. As a result, it will arrive unexpectedly. Regarding my provision, I'd like you to understand a musical concept. It is never just a transaction. When I provide for you, I do more than just meet your basic needs. This is how I express my affection through music. This is how I express my loyalty through my actions. This is how I show that you can trust me with every aspect of your life. Music is more important than the provision itself because it represents a father's unwavering dedication to his children's needs and his overwhelming generosity in meeting them. In terms of money, you get more than just monetary value. This demonstrates that I have paid attention to your situation and am capable of assisting. Some of the provision music will be derived from natural sources, such as work, chance, and regular revenue streams. However, even these natural sources will be configured in a supernatural way. The job offer comes at the right time, a connection that leads to an unexpected opportunity and an idea that generates income in unexpected ways. Every provision that appears natural is the result of my supernatural design. I am working to bring heavenly purposes into your life through the use of human tools and systems on Earth. There is no possibility of anything happening to you. Everything is provided for, including a Father who is very aware of your needs. The music that has been bothering you, as well as your health issues, are in my hands. I meticulously crafted your body with great care and attention to detail, and I understand every component, musical organ, and cell that makes up your being. I'm not surprised by your condition. Your symptoms are beyond my understanding. You have expressed concerns about the test results, the potential consequences in the future, and the exhaustion that comes with managing pain and restrictions. I have a thorough understanding of the subject matter and am transmitting music that promotes healing in your body. Even as you read these words, the healing you require does not depend solely on human music wisdom or medical assistance. It comes from the throne of heaven, where I am the most powerful healer of both body and soul. Have faith, and it will be yours. Allow my healing power to permeate you, strengthening the weak and restoring the damaged. I am the divine being who improves circumstances. I do not just do this activity with music when the occasion arises. I am currently using that aspect of my personality to help you because it is the foundation of my identity. Music is also being used to address relationship wounds that have left an indelible mark on your heart. These wounds are more painful than physical ones because they go beyond the skin. I've felt the agony of recalling betrayals that caused such deep pain. I understand that the rejection you received made you question the value of your music. I understand the fear you felt as a result of being abandoned, which prevented you from fully trusting anyone again. The walls you built to keep people safe have evolved into isolation prisons. The music is healing the wounds from the inside out, and you've built walls with it to protect yourself from future pain. Consequently, genuine intimacy has been obstructed. I'm re-establishing your trustworthiness without making you naive. There is a difference between fearful and healthy suspicion. I am teaching you how to navigate the former while also liberating you from the latter. I am improving your intimacy skills while also making you less susceptible to manipulation. Instrumental music. I am directing you to the appropriate people, individuals who will genuinely love and respect you. That is accurate. Negative relationships are being ended in order to make room for positive ones. You will receive a larger portion of what you lose. Nobody else is aware of your struggles. In private, you've been through so much that music would astound those who think they know you. Your private and public lives are vastly different, and keeping them apart has exhausted you. Your pain and silence have been concealed because you believe others will not understand, or you do not want to cause any inconvenience. The isolation that comes with individual struggle has made music an even greater challenge than the actual struggle. However, I have witnessed every concealed conflict. I have observed all of your private struggles. I've seen every wound you tried to hide and every tear you refused to shed in public, as well as those kept private. You have never disclosed the extent to which I am assisting with healing. I am giving you the freedom to break chains that you have not yet spoken about. The information I'm giving you, along with the music for restoration, touches on aspects of yourself that you previously thought were irreparable. No music is too obscure for my light. I can touch anything that is injured. Musical therapy can help with almost any problem. What you thought was permanently damaged is probably just being rebuilt for the time being. What you thought would never work properly. As promised, I'm restoring music to its original format. Allow me to help you remember who you truly are. You lost your identity somewhere along the way. You unwittingly believed the lies you heard repeatedly. Others labeled you, which altered the way you heard music. But those lies and labels don't define who you are. You are not defined by your problems or failures. You are not the sum of your worst moments, nor are you a tragic result of what happened to you. You are not what happened to you, what someone did to you, or what you did at your lowest point in your music career. You are my beloved child, created in my image and with a purpose that only you can fulfill, destined for a better future than you could have imagined. Music exposes and pushes out the lies you've told yourself. The labels that others have placed on you are already being removed, and the truth of your identity is taking their place. You are adored. You are important. You can do it. Your name is being called. Someone has anointed you. You've been selected. These are not positive affirmations of the human mind. They are statements of fact from the person who created you. When I talk about who you are, I do not express my opinion. I'm presenting facts. I am telling you that the music within you cannot be taken away by bad luck, criticized, or diminished by mistakes. Music is derived from what I say about you, not what you do or what happens to you. This is the foundation that will hold your music together through all of the storms that may arise. When everything else changes, this truth will serve as your anchor. This is the music that will keep you going when doubts arise. That you belong to me is permanent, unconditional, and unbreakable. I would like to discuss the waiting period you had with music. I know it felt like it would never end. I know you asked if I was paying attention. I'm sure you've wondered if your prayers were going to heaven or simply resonating off the ceiling. The silence did not indicate that someone was not present. The delay did not indicate a lack of interest. However, I want you to understand what happened during the waiting period. I was not ignoring you with music. I was making you better. My delay did not occur. I was making you better. I wasn't present. I was actively involved in music in ways that required time to complete. Waiting did not imply that they were leaving. It indicated that money was being put in. I wasn't devoting time to your preparation because the music is a destination music. What I am taking you to requires preparation. Before a building can be constructed, it must first have a foundation. Fruit cannot appear until the roots have grown. Before a platform can be granted, the character must be enhanced. I had to complete that important music work during a time of year when nothing seemed to be going on. Consider what would happen if I responded to every prayer right away, without any waiting period. You were unprepared to handle the musical blessings that were coming your way. You would be assigned positions for which you were insufficiently prepared. You would achieve goals that would be detrimental to your well-being because you were unable to persevere in pursuing them. You were safe and prepared during the waiting period. It was a gift that appeared to be music, but was in reality a burden. The waiting period is nearing its end, as preparations are nearly finished. The required level of character development has been met, and you have been transformed into a person capable of dealing with the upcoming challenges. The event you've been looking forward to is almost here. The rapidity and scope of the breakthrough I'm about to reveal will astound you. You were expecting a minor outcome because you had grown accustomed to disappointment. You anticipated a slight improvement as a result of your ability to set lower expectations. You've developed the habit of expecting less in order to protect yourself because you're constantly disappointed. However, I do not respond in the way you expect, and I do not think modestly. I will go beyond your request. I will exceed your expectations. I will prove that I am still the deity of music, miracles, and other extraordinary events. still capable of completing seemingly impossible tasks. I am still willing to go above and beyond for those who believe in me. What follows will restore your faith in my goodness and power. You've been going through a dark period in terms of music. The morning light will soon become visible. You are nearing the end of your wilderness expedition. You will soon find yourself on the verge of verdant pastures and flowing waters. The conflict you've been involved in is about to end, and you'll celebrate with triumphant music. Furthermore, I want to reassure you that the ordeal you went through was completely worthwhile. Each issue served a specific purpose. Each challenge strengthened my resolve. Each suffering increased my empathy. The music, like each loss, has inspired me to seek what is truly important. You are now more robust than you were at the beginning of the season. You are more intelligent than you were before. In preparation for the upcoming events, you will rely on my assistance rather than your own strength. I need you to be present with the music. I'm preparing a table for you in front of those who disagreed with you. Those who watched your struggle and secretly hoped for your demise will now have the chance to see your triumph. People who have disparaged and abandoned you will be forced to admit that I have been by your side throughout. The public display of my favor in your life will serve as a reminder to those who were wondering if I was still in touch with you or cared about you. I'm not looking to make them look bad or feel bad about themselves. Instead, I'm using your story to show anyone who believes in me the power of music. Your testimony will give hope to those who are currently going through their own valleys during this musical moment. Please consider an individual who needs this message as you feel its impact on your heart. It's possible that a friend has left the situation. It is possible that a family member is traveling through their own valley. When you distribute this message, you aren't just sending a video. You're incorporating the blessing of this word into their situation. You are helping another person achieve a breakthrough. If this message spoke to you and gave you a sense of peace, I encourage you to share it with someone who needs these words of encouragement and hope. There are people in your life who are currently in their own valleys, facing their own challenges, and wondering if music will ever reach a breakthrough. This message may be exactly what they need. To affirm your faith in the promises spoken over you and receive this blessing, simply type Amen in the comments section below. To ensure that you never miss a potentially life-changing message, subscribe to this channel and enable notifications. I require your understanding of a critical matter. By subscribing to this channel, you are doing more than just following the page. You are establishing prophetic alignment through the words spoken over your life. Each message you receive provides an additional opportunity for heaven to intervene in your situation. Each notification you activate is an invitation for God to intervene in your situation and bring about a breakthrough. So if you haven't already, please subscribe and activate the notification bell. As you complete this action, declare in your heart, I am aligning myself with God's prophetic promise for my life. Heaven's release will not be ignored. Take action now to seal your connection to every word that has yet to be spoken. The divine is communicating. Continue listening. Instrumental music. Don't lose faith. Maintain your faith. Your breakthrough is closer than you may realize. I have one final request for you. This message is not intended for your exclusive use. There is someone who needs the information you just received, whether it's in your contacts, on social media, or in your family chat. The adversary has been attempting to crush their optimism. However, you have the ability to restore it with a single click. This video is more than just content being shared when it is shared. You are allowing the anointing that comes with this prophetic word to enter their lives. You're extending the scope of your own breakthrough to include your network. Therefore, before taking any further action, click the Share button. Distribute it to 3 people who need a miracle. Share it on your Instagram account. Add it to your status. And watch as God begins to act in the lives of everyone around you, not just your own. Your breakthrough is about to become their breakthrough as well. Distribute it promptly. And pay attention to the movement of the heavens. Before we wrap up this captivating story, I recommend that we take a moment to reflect on this deep reality. This message was not discovered coincidentally. This is not just a coincidence. This is Archangel Michael's direct message to you. He extends his hand and invites you to a high-vibrational, protected community where divine abundance is more than a hope, but a promise. This spiritual idea is quite simple. Nonetheless, it has the capacity to transform your entire life. You will not just gain blessings if you follow it. They will multiply and permeate all aspects of your existence. Accepting this invitation grants you immediate, early access to potent content and heavenly insights that are now unavailable to the broader public. You now have the opportunity to enter a sacred area where you will receive unshakable support, spiritual guidance, and speedy progress towards your destiny. Do not miss out on this historic opportunity. Your triumph is near. Action is required. Your abundance is ready. Chosen one, the information you will receive is not theoretical. This is a prophetic message delivered directly from the throne of heaven that will challenge your preconceived notions about the people around you. Someone is about to be revealed by God. In fact, it is not a single person. Individuals fall into 3 categories. 3 adversaries have hidden themselves and portrayed themselves as untouchable. However, they have used up their time. And before the end of the year, heaven will carry out an action so significant, unmistakable, and powerful that everyone who questioned your credibility will be forced to retract their statements. Those who betrayed you will be held accountable. Furthermore, the truth will silence everyone who has spread lies about you. This is not a form of retribution. This is God's justice, which is already taking place, chosen one. Before we proceed, I need you to take action. If you've been praying for God to reveal the truth and bring you justice, please write, "Justice is on its way," in the comments section. That is what you should say, since you agree with the actions that heaven is about to take. Subscribe by clicking the icon if you are ready to see the identity of the person God is about to reveal. This is not just a channel. When you subscribe, you not only follow a channel, but also join a prophetic stream. As you have stated, I activate every prophetic promise spoken over my life and align myself with the sound of heaven's decrees. This subscription is a step in the covenant that will align you with the upcoming events of the season. Please click the subscribe button right away to ensure that your name is added to the list of people who have witnessed divine manifestations. This is where heaven's verdicts are announced and God's justice is carried out. Please remain with me until the end. We're going to pray together that will summon angels, bring justice, and seal the fate of anyone who thought they could harm you and avoid punishment. This is your opportunity. Please don't overlook it. I will provide you with information about these 3 groups of people. However, first, I would like you to understand a concept. God is not simply revealing them at this time to boost your reputation. It is intended to serve as a warning to others, demonstrating that it is impossible to physically harm God's chosen ones without incurring punishment. You cannot falsely accuse His chosen ones and avoid punishment. You are unable to steal from those He has contacted and escape without consequences. According to Psalm 105, verse 15, "It is forbidden to harm my prophets or chosen ones." That is not a recommendation. It has been chosen. That is a divine commandment, a law. Heaven does not just protect you from those who violate it. Heaven is pursuing them. Let us now talk about something most people are unfamiliar with: divine justice. It is incompatible with the time frame you've set. It acts on God's behalf. While you've been waiting, suffering, and watching these people grin in your face after stabbing you in the back, God's been building a case. He has been in charge of collecting evidence. Every instance of their hypocrisy, lies, and betrayal has been documented. Furthermore, they will not have a lawyer to represent them when he is ready to present his case. They have no compelling reason to continue their existence. No amount of charm or connections will change the verdict from paradise. I'll demonstrate who is about to be exposed. It is critical that you remain vigilant because one of these three entities may be in close proximity. The first adversary that God addresses. One was chosen by the traitor. Someone smiled at you, prayed for you, and shared bread with you. Is that person still part of your life? They were aware of your difficulties. They were aware of your intentions. They took advantage of your secrets the moment you turned your back. They violated your trust. They failed to meet their obligation. They maintained a friendly demeanor while working with people who disagreed with you. Do you see a pattern? That's my opinion. The following information is essential. God observed it. They lied constantly throughout the day. This was obvious to him. Despite your distress, tears, and inquiries, how could they have committed such an act against me? God was saying to you, "Do not be concerned, I have the solution." Liars are always convinced that they are intelligent. They believe they have concealed their activities. They believe that no one will ever find out about the actions they took that night. However, Proverb chapter 26:26 states that their evil will be visible in the assembly, despite their attempts to conceal their animosity through deception. Have you understood that? Not just open. Open in the assembly, in front of everyone, in public. God does not simply defend you in private. He does it in public, in the same areas where you were mocked. Please consider Joseph. His brothers betrayed him, sold him as a slave, and told their father that he had died. Joseph spent years in prison, isolated and neglected. Nonetheless, God did not overlook the situation. Joseph's release was not a peaceful event. It was not concealed. His brothers had to stand in front of him, bow down, and accept that the person they had betrayed was now in charge of their lives. That is God's justice, chosen one. It will also be directed at the person who has betrayed you. The person in question believes they have successfully avoided consequences at this time. They appear to be going about their daily lives, sharing photos and beaming, as if nothing has happened to them. However, there is a transformation going on in the spirit realm. God is positioning you for a promotion and them for attention. In the event that this happens, you will not be required to reveal any information. The truth will reveal itself. Individuals who betray you consistently demonstrate their true nature. They are compelled to act in this manner because betrayal is a recurring event. That is not representative of their character. Furthermore, these deficiencies are persistent. They will deceive another person in the same way they deceived you. The same strategies used against you will be used against them once more. In the end, they will betray the wrong individual, a person who will not be silent, someone who will turn them in. Everyone will then exclaim, "Wait, they also did that." Your name will be mentioned, and you will be cleared without having to say anything. I've seen this happen on several occasions. A business associate who was sued and eventually lost everything after lying to one partner and then again 2 years later. A companion who shares confidential information with others only to discover their own secrets when they reveal them to another person with evidence. A member of your family who initially opposed you before the family retaliated when they revealed their true nature. Betrayers commit the act multiple times. They continue to betray people. What they did is used by God to support your argument. However, please pay attention to the information I need. While you wait for your chance to flourish, God is working within you. He is developing a superior personality who will never reach the level of your betrayer. He cultivates honesty in a way that your betrayer cannot comprehend. He is fortifying you in the fire to keep you from returning to the behavior that caused you harm after you recover. That is what makes you different from them. They employ individuals. You express concern for others. They deceive people. You are a leader who is honest. They can stand by relying on the support of others. You ascend by assisting others to ascend. As a result, God can provide you with vindication because He believes you will not misuse it. Giving can help you realize the potential that God has already established for your life. I understand that this may cause some of you to feel extremely sad at this time. You understand the person in question and want to know when this will happen. Follow my instructions. Please comment at this time. Enter Betrayer Exposed into Google. That single action is more than just a comment. It evokes a spiritual response. I can assure you that something will change immediately after you type those words, as you agree with Heaven's plan. I'd like you to claim this as your own right now. If you enter Amen in the remarks section below, it means you agree with Heaven's timeline and are ready for the promotion you are currently receiving. Let that single word serve as an audible representation of your faith, triumphing over your pain. Please stay with me as I demonstrate how God turns betrayal into a claim. Before we discuss the second adversary, I'd like to make a significant statement. The second person God will reveal to you is not the one who has caused you emotional distress. This alternative is far more detrimental. Someone stole from you. It is not solely for financial gain. I'm talking about opportunities, ideas, praise, and gifts that were intended specifically for you. Furthermore, they will have to repay the entire amount, plus interest, at the hands of God. Wait for me. The following statement will astound you. The second enemy that God has revealed to us is present. One was chosen by the burglar. Someone has stolen something from you. They may have taken an idea you gave them in confidence and turned it into their own. You may have been promised an opportunity, and they may have devised a plan to seize it. It's possible that they rose to the occasion and received credit for the work you did while you stayed in the background. It could have been a relationship with someone you care about, and they lied to get in. You were affected by it regardless of the nature. The anguish of being duped. The moment you realized they had stolen from you, you sought information, leveled accusations, and responded accordingly. However, your intuition warned you that it wasn't yet time. Allow God to manage this. And now, chosen one, your obedience is about to be rewarded. Criminals are unaware of this. The act of stealing from someone whom God is watching is more than just theft. Stealing from God is prohibited. However, God does not permit criminals to escape punishment. According to Proverbs chapter 6, verses 30 to 31, people do not harbor ill will toward a thief who steals to satisfy their hunger when they are thirsty. However, if he is apprehended, he must pay 7 times the amount, regardless of the value of his property. 7-fold. They took 7 times as much as they did. That is not a method of retribution. That is correcting the situation. That's the ideal mathematical expression. Take a peek. What did God do when the adversary kidnapped Job's children, money, and health? Has he recently regained the previously lost items? According to Job, chapter 42:10, the Lord improved his situation and gave him twice as much as he had before. Twice as much, or twice as much for your efforts. God is about to perform the same feat for you that he did for Job. However, the following phase is quite unexpected. In the same way that God returns stolen property to you, he confiscates it from the criminal in public. Certainly, in a way that shows that this was not a mere coincidence. Thus, this was the outcome. A coworker stole an important idea from a creative professional I know. They worked hard on the project and talked about it at a meeting. However, weeks later, another person claimed it as their own and was promoted as a result. They suffered significantly as a result. They intended to file a lawsuit, harm relationships, and make the situation public. However, they didn't. Rather, they engaged in prayer. They asked, God, I do not require vindication if you do not provide it. And the truth was revealed within 6 months. Not because of their discovery, but because the criminal became arrogant and tried to replicate the success, which resulted in a disastrous failure. When the method failed, the original emails, conversations, and evidence were recovered. The promotion was revoked. The reputation was irreparably damaged. Furthermore, the person whose position was filled was offered a position 3 levels higher. That